Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, Entitled Mom thinks adults only doesn't apply to her kid at resort pool, removed by staff. My dad is entitled. 20F, the expensive, painful Mother's Day with my mom. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled Mom thinks adults only doesn't apply to her kid at resort pool, removed by staff. My husband and I are currently vacationing at a 5-star hotel. There are 2 separate pools, one for kids/families and the Serenity/Quiet one for adults, 21 plus is enforced. Both pools are very clearly marked as such by large signs placed around the perimeters of each. We have been here for a few days and it has been literal paradise. We have not run into many families/kids, and those that we did see were exceptionally well behaved and attended to by their parents, until today. We went to the adult pool and got set up on 2 chairs. The pool was in front of us and the hot tub was behind us. It was a tad chilly, so we ventured over to the hot tub, where we saw a kid, about 7, playing with a shit ton of Star Wars toys on the steps. Call me a Karen, I don't care, but this set me off. We came to this resort specifically because of the 2 very separate pools with enforced rules. I want to relax, I don't feel like hearing screaming kids on vacation. I went over to the attendant stand and asked if the hot tub was for families, and if so, was there an adults-only hot tub that we might be directed to? I knew the answer, I just didn't want to come across as too aggressive. I was told that the hot tub was, indeed, for adults only, so I proceeded to tell both pool attendants that there was a child in the hot tub and I didn't know if his parent was nearby. You guys, both pool attendants were basically like, hell no, and walked very fast over to the hot tub and told a woman who was apparently the mother, of the child, that it was adults only and they had to leave. The kid was told to get out, crying/screaming ensued, and he and the mom then just sat on the chairs. But wait, there's more. After about 5 to 10 minutes, they were still sitting on the chairs in the adult area, and again, the attendant came over and informed them that the area was adults only, and they're not even allowed to sit there, even if they're not actively using the hot tub. Was pissed, angrily packed up their stuff, and both were ushered out of the adults area. I suspect they were there because the kids' pool area was super busy and didn't want to deal with other kids and or couldn't score a chair. We tipped the attendants generously on our way out and are already planning our next vacation here. I wish more businesses would realize that not everyone wants to commingle with families/kids. The best part is that this particular hotel has kids programming all day, a kids club, and the kids/family pool is actually much bigger and nicer than the adults pool. It also has kids' water attractions, like ones you would see at a splash pad, a huge bucket that spills water, water guns, fountains, bubblers, etc. Why would you not be there? Oh, I know, because the mother is an entitled, selfish a-hole who didn't care about her kids' enjoyment or that of the adults around her. ETA 2, IT happened again today. We were at the adult pool again this morning, and a mother pushing a stroller with another kid in tow tried to sneak in the side entrance of the adult pool area. Not so fast. The same attendant from above stopped them and escorted them out so fast their heads must have been spinning. The kids' pool is absolute madness right now with it being Mother's Day, and there aren't many chairs left, so I'm guessing she thought the rules don't apply to her. This amazing attendant will be getting another generous tip today. ETA 3, to address a few common questions/comments. The Resort Ritz-Carlton in Key Biscayne, FL, highly recommended. We will definitely be returning. What if the child is neurodivergent/has sensory issues? I honestly don't care. If the kid's overstimulated, he can be taken back to the hotel room for some quiet time, or literally anywhere else on the resort that is open and available to him. I also have sensory issues due to cancer treatment, and I'm not about to sit there and deal with someone else's poor planning. Not my problem while I'm on vacation, especially while there are multiple outlets/accommodations for children and literally only one for adults. The great comments, thank you to the parents who have offered their support and words of encouragement. The world needs more of you. I don't think that's being a Karen. You're there for a reason. WND people not following rules upsets other people's quiet time. The resort has a kid area and a pool, so there was zero reason the kid should have been there. You're right, I don't think I was being unreasonable. The fact the pool staff was so eager to enforce is telling. I worked in the service industry, and there are some policies that favor the customer is always right corporate mindset and others that are strict and warrant a hell nah. We definitely jumped at the chance to enforce the latter with all the pent-up frustration built up by the former. A 7-year-old shouldn't be in a hot tub unsupervised regardless. The temperature is set for adult-sized bodies, and it can be dangerous for kids. Right. That's immediately what came to mind. The mother, clearly either A. couldn't get a chair near the family pool or B. wanted quiet for herself. Well, either get there earlier and get yourself some chairs by the family pool, or don't bring your kid. I mean, in all honesty, it isn't going to cause any problems. A 7-year-old body is perfectly capable of self-regulation, it's only babies that can overheat. Nonetheless, kids shouldn't have been there. Glad the attendants took care of them. Yes, they were great. And they didn't act like I was being unreasonable either, which is the usual response. Very appreciative. You are definitely not a Karen. I have kids myself and I would have done the same thing as you. That's good to hear. I met a lot of parents who were on solo vacation sans kids and they wanted nothing to do with anything kid-related. Wow. We have been at a few 5-star hotels with adult pools and the attendants told us that there was nothing they could do to keep kids out because management won't let them. The sign just said adults, not adults only. I had asked out of curiosity, not to complain. Thankfully, we weren't bothered too much and none in the hot tubs. I'm relieved to hear that some resorts do enforce it. I wish more places had this and actually enforced it. I've been to a few that didn't enforce and it's really frustrating. Do you care to share where this was? Totally understand if you aren't comfortable with giving your location though. People don't realize it's not just about the behavior of kids. I have kids and there are times I want to get away and not be around them. Maybe I want to drink too much and curse too much and have adult-only conversations. I don't want to have to monitor myself because someone didn't want to use the family area. Exactly. And I will admit that the kid was relatively behaved, I guess, but I'm not on vacation to have some kid play fighting with his figurines in a 10x10 hot tub while I drink and snuggle next to my husband. My husband and I went to the Pagosa Springs Resort specifically because it had hot springs for adults only. And they had waitstaff that brought festive drinks to the area. They also enforced their rules, and it was so peaceful. Highly recommend. That's actually fantastic. I love hearing stories like this. Me too. Imagine my excitement getting to be part of one firsthand. No, Karen's here. I stay at an adult-only area of a huge resort in Mexico every year, and people are always trying to sneak kids into the adult-only pools. It's clearly marked, and you have to walk a good way to get to the area, but all the time, they try. The resort is great about escorting them out. I am more than willing to pay extra, so I don't have to deal with kids on vacation. My dad is entitled. My son just had surgery. His surgery was hours away from home. I had to be by myself while my son was having surgery. My kids are my everything and I was having a panic attack the whole time, but my husband and I have a disabled son who was a year younger than our son who had surgery. He needed to be watched obviously. I understand. None of my family offered to watch my disabled son. And personally, I probably would have said no if they offered. But it's the offer that counts, right? Anyway. 2 days after my son's surgery we are finally home. He's in a lot of pain and requiring round-the-clock care. He's only 11. My dad called me multiple times though I ignored his call. I was trying to sleep because I haven't gotten any sleep while I've been taking care of my son. He had his wife call, but I ignored that too. Finally, I get a text saying my dad is in the hospital and they want me to watch their kids because my dad doesn't want to be alone through the night. I ignored the text. They kept calling. Finally, I sent them a text telling them no. He's a grown adult. I shouldn't have to watch my gremlin monster little sisters because my dad is a baby and doesn't want to be alone. My little sisters are younger than my kids, but they are gremlins. They aren't well behaved. They don't listen to a thing you say. I'm not having them around while my son is healing. They are abusive to animals. They broke their cat's leg, so my dad got rid of the cat, and I have 2 cats and 2 rats. I don't want them in my house with my pets. The last time they asked me to watch their kids, I did. They wanted to go hunting. Well, apparently it was too cold to hunt, so they didn't even go. They just went to sleep after dropping the kids off. Which is ridiculous. If you want to have a kid-free day, just ask. But don't lie to me to get me to watch your kids. Not to mention my cat, who has never been a mean cat. He is my gentle giant. He's 2x the size of a normal cat. He's sweet as can be. He loves to just sit and watch, and he loves a nice nap on your lap. I've had him since he was 6 weeks old. He's almost 4.5 years old, suddenly turned violent and started biting and growling and hissing for months after they left. Since then I haven't allowed them into my house again. To be honest, I'm sure my dad is only in the hospital because he's upset my son is getting attention and not him. My dad is a sociopath. You have your hands full with your own kids. Even if your dad's kids were little angels, you still have the right to say no to caring for anyone else's kids. Good on you. You have a lot on your plate with your disabled son and your other son who is healing from surgery. Don't know why he needed surgery, but I hope he recovers well and can get back on his feet soon. It's hard saying no to family, but your son is recovering from surgery. You don't want a couple of snotty bratty little kids running around destroying the place, plus they could bring any sort of bug, virus, infection into the house. I didn't even think of the bug/virus issues. They always lie when they are sick and say it's allergies. They have given us COVID 2x. I don't need my son getting sick while he is healing. Every time we see them, we have to be prepared to get sick. Cat tax? Your dad is awful. Opie posted the cat tax about 15 minutes ago. If you sort the comments by new, you should be able to find it. You're so mean talking about a gentle giant cat and not show us pictures. Not to mention the other cat and the rats. But good for you saying no. You have other things to think about and take care of. Go no contact with your dad and his family. He wasn't there when you needed help with your kid, but he wanted your help with his demon spawn? He deserves to get cut off. If his kids abuse animals and are complete monsters, I would want $250 per hour to watch them. And I can guarantee that they don't have that money. Plus, I would make them sign a contract that if their kids destroy anything, they would be the ones paying for repairs or replacements. And if the kids hurt your pets, they would be charged $1,000. The fact that they hurt animals makes them persona non grata. I don't know how people have children that would abuse an animal. What are they teaching them? No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence, and you are completely justified in using it to decline watching your gremlin monster little sisters while your son is healing. It's not your responsibility to take care of your dad's kids, especially when they have a history of being abusive to animals. Plus, it sounds like your dad is only in the hospital because he's upset he's not getting attention, which is not a valid reason to ask for help. Take care of yourself and your son first. Good for you to tell them no. I hope your son heals and you can get some rest. You should have just said they broke the cat's leg, and I would have never accepted for absolutely no reason that such creatures enter my pet-filled house. People who mistreat animals should go to MF prison. I completely agree. People who can hurt little adorable creatures deserve the worst. 20F, the expensive, painful Mother's Day with my mom. Friday and Saturday we did nothing but argue. I'm a college student who lives alone, so I struggle with money. My mom does not help me in the least. I begged her to let me cook for her to save money, and also because I'm pretty decent at cooking. She refused. She told me she doesn't like my cooking, it's always bland or done wrong. Instead, she wanted to force me to go to some expensive restaurant I couldn't afford. And of course, it's Mother's Day, so she expects me to pay. And so I did. She always brings me down, insults me, hurts my mental health. But she's my mom, I still love her. I can't help it. I always feel guilty. I want to be a good daughter. It is truly a painful relationship. Maybe time to separate what you hope for and what is the reality. Mourn for what you know isn't going to happen and decide how you are going to deal with what is left. I'm sorry your mother is so ungrateful. That's the key term, ungrateful. I try so hard to be good to her, but she only ever sees what I do wrong. My dad told me after shattering my left humerus, I hope you learned a lesson. Yeah, that parents can be absolute dog shit and you don't have to take it. Prioritize yourself. She gave birth to you. She isn't your mother. She has to be a good mother first for you to be a good daughter. I understand that it is difficult to say no to your mother. However, she is causing you undue hardship by forcing you to do things for her that cause you emotional distress and put your well-being at risk. Now you aren't going to like this, but it's perhaps time to put your foot down. You can't keep letting her push you around. You can still love your mother, but she will continue to emotionally manipulate you into doing what she wants, regardless of how it will affect you emotionally or financially. You need to lay ground rules as to what you will and will not do for your mother. Tell her when you say no, you mean it. You are under no obligation to cater to her every whim. You are under no obligation to repay her for birthing you or raising you. You did not ask to be born. Therefore, it does not fall on you to repay her for that. She is entitled and disrespectful. She definitely does not behave like a mother who deserves to be taken out. Next, you're nothing for her. Your mother sounds very toxic and controlling. Since she is not helping you out and does not seem to care at all about your finances, maybe it is time to go limited contact with her and see if that works out for you. Yes, you can still love her, but maybe having a little distance from her will be good for you. As a mom, I'm telling you to put your foot down and say no. My older boys went in together and got me a gift. They don't have a lot of money to spare. They spent about $6 and I love it. A 4-pack of Coke with collected bottles and a new twist of one of my favorite chocolate bars. I couldn't have been happier. Your mom is entitled to exactly nothing but what you want to give. It's not your job to keep her happy at the expense of other things. I'm sorry she's like this, but please stop enabling it or it will never stop. Here's some scissors to cut ties. You don't deserve that, no one does. If there's absolutely nothing she can hang over your head to stay, then there's your answer. She's not going to change herself. Are you really going to let her change you? Mom, you don't get to dictate your gift. I can't afford that restaurant. Me cooking you dinner is what's being offered. You can accept or decline. Your choice. It hurts because she's the one person who's supposed to love you no matter what. I felt the same with my mom. For years, I tried to make her love me. It doesn't work. She's the problem, not you. Nothing will ever be good enough for her. Even if you do exactly what she wants, she'll just change her mind about what she wants. Give yourself permission to stop trying. Let go of the dream of having a loving mother. It's just that, a dream. People like us will never have that. We have to learn to be enough for ourselves instead. Stop listening to her. Hell, stop talking to her. All she does is make you feel bad, so avoid her. She's the one who's not good enough. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.